Hey guys, welcome to episode number 74. Today is Wednesday, so it's DIY Wednesday. And today I wanted to talk about this router table that I built. And although this is typically a woodworking tool, it's actually ridiculously helpful for the aquarium hobby. And the reason why is because a lot of times it's really cheap to buy flat acrylic sheets, and any kind of aquarium project that involves acrylic will most likely benefit from a router table. So I just want to explain kind of quickly how I built this, what it's made of, and how I plan on using it. So right here I've got a 3/4 inch piece of plywood for the base, and then I've got a frame that's built of 2x3s, and that's actually a very similar construction to how the 20-gallon stand here was built. So if you need help, that's kind of the same method that I used here. And I just set the plywood, drilled it down onto this frame that I built. And then what I've got under here is a small handheld DeWalt router. And typically these come with a little clear plastic plate that they sit on. And you're supposed to hold the router like this, and you route out whatever board you're working on. But here, a router table flips that over, so you don't hold on to the router is underneath the table. And what you do is you can just turn this to adjust. Let's see, turning it clockwise, and there we go. The bit is raising up here, and then all I'll do is lock this into place, and then I can turn on the router table, and this blade will spin really, really fast. It's dangerous, you got to keep your fingers away from it, but what that allows you to do is have a flat surface that you can put a flat piece of acrylic on. And using jigs, some router bits come with bushings, so you can basically have a jig attached to your piece of acrylic, and you can run the acrylic run your jig rather, against that bit, and all of the acrylic that's excess will just be cut off, and what you're left with will look exactly like what your jig looks like. I might have a better example of that in a couple weeks when I start to play around with this, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of what I did here. So this is a hole that I drilled in the top of the router table, and what that's allowed me to do is have this base plate mount right flush with the table itself. And that allows me to pop this router out if I need to, but most of the time it's going to sit just like this. And you'll see I have 4 screws here. They're sitting flush, so it won't interrupt with my cutting. But I can unscrew those, and I can even take my router and attach it back to its base plate to use it like it's meant to be used. But there's a good amount of surface area here around the edges for this table to sit on, or this router plate to sit on. And it does sit flush with the table, so that should work really well. The last thing that I haven't quite done yet, but I've started to do here, is build a fence. And if anyone's worked with a table saw, you know exactly what a fence is. This is a stop. This is a surface that you're supposed to push your material into, and then it stops at whatever length or width you want. And then you can run it through your blade, and then you can pull it back out, and then your cut will be complete. So I've just got this with quick clamps right now, and I can just move that forward or backwards and cut my material with this blade. I don't have anything right now to cut, so I won't do that yet, but I'll just turn this on so you can see what kind of power this thing has. So that blade is spinning really fast. It's pretty dangerous, but as you can see, the router plate takes all of that force and just applies it to the entire surface here. So that's the router table, just real quick, and I will be using this tool in upcoming videos, especially when I plan on using acrylic as part of some DIY projects. So look forward to that. Look forward to a true fence here for the back, and hopefully I can get some acrylic and start experimenting with what I can cut using this router table. You know, the biggest, making the router table is easy. The harder part is coming up with ways to use it, I guess, and building really good templates that you can use to cut pieces. And once you have a good template, you should be able to use it hundreds of times on this router surface. The bits aren't very expensive. They're going to last for quite a while. And acrylic does really well when it's cut with a router. So this is the preferred method of cutting acrylic to size and shape, especially when you have complex cuts that you need to make in the aquarium hobby. So that's what's going on here. I've got my little light here just to, you know, light my blade. You'll notice it's a black router plate and the bit is black, so I want to always make sure I know exactly where that bit is, especially when it's moving, because that is quite dangerous. And common sense tells you to, whenever you're done using a tool like this, to actually lower it back down so that someone can't accidentally turn it on and accidentally hurt themselves. So that blade is now lowered and it's locked back in place, and that's good to go. So I'm going to keep working on the back plate here, and I'll make a couple jigs, and maybe in a future video I'll show you actually running some acrylic through here to make some pretty interesting shapes. So that's what's going on. Hope you liked it, and I've got a good Fan Friday video coming up here in a couple days, so look forward to that. Alright guys, see you later.